Okay, here I'm going to show you how to create a subscription in Stripe, otherwise known as a plan in Stripe. If you're taking one-off payments via T4S.site with Stripe, once you put in your Stripe API keys, of which there's the other video to show you how to get those, you don't have to do anything else in Stripe at all. You just pop the details into your payment button on T4S, what it is, how much, and that's it. It'll link straight through to Stripe. You don't have to do anything in Stripe. If you want a subscription, a recurring plan of payments, monthly or whatever it be, then you need a pricing plan within Stripe to set that up. And this is how you do it. So I'm going to do this in my test mode. If you're testing your buttons in T4S, you need to make sure you've got your Stripe test and live keys, publishable and secret. And you need to make sure you've got this pricing plan, which we're about to set up, in test mode and live mode. So you can test it while you're in test mode, and then when you're happy to go live, you can switch it across to live. And I'll make sure at the end of this video, I'll reinforce how to switch from test to live in T4S and in Stripe. But first of all, let's create our recurring plan. Now, the way you do that is to go to billing. Click on billing and then click on products. So the first thing you're going to do is create a product, and your product is what you are selling, not how much you're charging. This is just what you are selling. So it could be a warranty or a guarantee if it's for a product. It could be for a monthly membership fee. It could be for a retainer if you're a consultant, anything that's going to be a recurring basis. So I'm going to add a new product, and my product will be, let's assume we're going to create a consultancy retainer. So this is going to be a monthly payment for access to my services for 1 hour a week, or whatever it is you want to choose. That's all you do. Don't put anything else in. Create the product, boom, done. So that's what I'm selling. Now it's going to say, what pricing plan do you want? Because you have to have a pricing plan for your product. So the nickname. So this is going to be my, let's make it £97 a month. So this is going to be my nickname for my plan, in English what it is. Don't put in the ID, leave it for the default. I'll explain why in a second, but it's far better to use Stripe's default ID because it will give you a clue about what it is you're copying and pasting later on in the video. So leave that blank. You're doing a recurring quantity, so leave that selected. Choose the currency, British pounds, US dollars, whatever it might be. This is advanced, so leave that as no. It doesn't have different prices based on quantity. But now the important bit, how much are you going to charge? Well, I think we said, what did I say at the top? £97 a month. So 97 per unit, and my unit is monthly. So £97 a month. That's it. Customers subscribe will be billed £97 at the beginning of each month. And they'll be charged straight away. So they pay on day one immediately, and then they'll be charged again in a month's time. If you had weekly or 3 months or custom, whatever it might be, they get charged today, and then again when you've chosen your billing interval. And I add my pricing plan. So I've got my product. Let me just click on products to show you my product. There's my product. If I click on my product, down here I've got my pricing plan, and you can see I can add multiple pricing plans within that product. So if I had a weekly price, or maybe an annual price, which is 10 months for the price of 12 or something like that, I can have multiple pricing plans for this product. You can also see that it's got various default IDs, and the default ID we want is the pricing plan itself. If I click on my new pricing plan for my product, click on that, there's the ID it created by default. And it's good because it puts the word plan at the front. So you know that if you've got anything else, let's find something else, an ID here that starts with prod, that's the wrong one. You click on this, it's plan underscore, and then a unique number after that. That's what you want. I'll leave that on the screen. I'll just go back to T4S now, and let's go to a subscription button. So this is a subscription button where people are going to sign up for whatever it might be. Okay, so as I say, consultancy or warranty or whatever it might be. Click on that, and I set up my Stripe details. So if I haven't done already, I click, and it always puts it in by default. I put in my Stripe Live publishable and secret key, my test publishable and secret key. The other video separate to this will show you how to get those, just so I don't end up with videos that are too long. And here I can switch between live and test payments. While you're using test payments, back in Stripe, it will look for this test data version, and therefore this is a test plan. It's not live, it's for test. Remember that, because if I copy that, when I go to, having entered my Stripe key details, when I go to set up what I'm selling, I can set up what I'm selling. So this is my consultancy retainer, and 97 British pound, going to wherever, pick the page you go to after they pay, and here, that's where I paste that plan underscore ID. And if it doesn't start with plan, if you use the default Stripe suggestions, then you know you've got the wrong one. That's why I suggest you use the Stripe recommended ones or default ones, because it will always put plan at the front to make sure you know what you're doing. That's it. This is optional over here. If you've got something where you only want to take 3 payments, so let's say you've got a page where they can pay one off, or they can pay over 3 months, and you've got 2 payment buttons, and the one over 3 months, you want to take 3 payments and stop. Stripe doesn't give the feature to say don't take any more payments after X number of payments. So T4S has that built in for you. Let me explain how that works. Let's say we're going to do 3 monthly payments. Payment will be taken immediately on day 1. It will be taken a month later on day 31. Let's say 31 days in a month. And the third one will be taken a month later. So on day 62. Day 1, 31 and 62. So in total, 62 days are required as a minimum to take 3 payments. Now, if the month has got less than 31, that's not a problem. It will just be 61 days or 60 days. But 62 will cover the situation where we've got 2 31-day months, and they pay on day 1, at the end of the first month, and the end of the second month. 3 payments. Therefore, I can tell T4S after my 62nd day, cancel the subscription for me automatically, rather than me having to do it manually and remember. Now, what I recommend you do is you work it out. So in this case, it's day 1, day 62 is the 62nd day is that third payment. Add a couple of days on, so make it 64, just because that gives a couple of days, for you to do things. You've got a whole extra month set of days. You've got up to 62. Up to arguably 93rd day, maybe the 90th day if they're short months. So you've got loads of space. You could put in 70, and so it gets cancelled on the 70th day. So work that out depending on your frequency and your payments. If you are taking 4 weekly payments, it'll be today, after actually 8, 1 plus 7 is 8, plus 7 is 15, plus 7 is 22, plus 7, and that's it, 22. So now the 8th day, the 15th day, and the 22nd day will be the 4th and final payment. So add a couple of days for contingency. After 24 days, you can cancel it. Okay, if it doesn't make sense, do shout out on facebook.com/groups/funnelhackerspro, and I'll go into it in more detail. If you leave it blank, then they'll just pay until they cancel or they die, whatever. Okay. That's how you set up a recurring payment, and obviously here you'd put in a thank you page. I haven't got one here, so that would go to a thank you page and your funnel, and do whatever you want to do on your thank you page. But that's how you get your from Stripe, and that's what you're looking for, the plan underscore. So just to finish off, when you switch to live, remember here, if we're going to go live. Here, boom, it's now taking live payments. I need to go to switch off my viewing test data, so I'm in live mode, and repeat it, create a product, create a pricing plan, get the new pricing plan ID for the real pricing plan, copy that and paste that into my payment button. So it will replace the test version that I had in there before. Okay, that's Stripe and getting your pricing plan ID for taking recurring payments.